arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo, domo, domo arigato, Mr.
Well, good morning. Good morning, welcome to Drive Time with Alec. I know what you're thinking. Where have you been, sir? Good sir. And I don't have a really good answer for that. I don't have a really good one. I have a answer, and gun rack. But I don't have a good answer. It's just what it is. So, basically, for the last Monday and Tuesday, I was gone at a funeral. I know, it's like, you're like, oh, well, I don't really want to know anymore about why you weren't here. It's like, yeah, I know. And if you know me, I don't want to get into the specifics of it, but I will tell you this, that it's caused a lot of reflection in my life, and I think it's really awesome. The minister, or the pastor, I guess, if you will, at the funeral said that, God intends horrible things for good, and God has a very redemptive nature. And I really enjoyed that message because it's true, because horrible things happen all around us all the time, and yet the redemptive quality of humanity and of God and all this fun stuff is pretty powerful, right? And even if don't believe in God, that's fine. I mean, that's not my belt anymore. I'm not trying to notch the belt. If you've been raised in the church, you know what that means. If you don't, look it up. Anyway, my point is, regardless of how you believe in and what you believe in, it's a pretty cool statement. And it's something that I think is worth living by and worth integrating and worth being part of your existence, because we live in a tough world, man. And that was so, I mean, look, we have so many reminders of the birth and death life cycle. We have the seasons, we've got the human condition, right? I mean, there's new life and people passing from life all the time. And what's ironic is that we as humans just simply ignore the birth-death life cycle, and we just start to continue to focus on little tiny meaningless stupid things. I mean, don't we? I mean, isn't that the plight of all of us? Isn't that the plight that we would spend a week, a month, years never really dealing with the birth-death life cycle, never really going a little bit deeper and going, is what I'm doing worth doing? Are my interactions with other people worth having? Is this the last thing I want to create for this individual? It's really interesting. So I will leave you today with a very, very thought-provoking experience I had with my sister. As you know, my sister is a recovering, some of you know, but she's a recovering alcoholic, and she's been 5 years sober, and she's one of the most incredible human beings on the planet. And we were driving up to Fresno, and she told me a very interesting thing, because I'm typically, unfortunately, a pretty judgmental person. And that judgment usually stems from the place that I believe people don't have to do things they do, and I get really non-empathetic towards choices. I'm very empathetic towards circumstances that I don't believe, maybe we have to respond to. But I'm very unempathetic in things that I think are someone's choices. And the consequences of those choices I become pretty unempathetic towards. And it translates into being judgmental. And it's definitely something I'm aware of, and I'm not, it's like it sneaks up on me. All of a sudden I'm like, why am I doing this? So she made a really, really wise statement, and she said, in her community, in recovering addict community, people relapse and they die all the time. And it's a horrible, horrible cycle in recovery. And she goes to meetings every night. She's a very, very big advocate of AA. She's an incredible contributor back to people that are in recovery. And she said, because she's so in tune with the birth-death life cycle, because she's in it way more than any human being should be, she has this incredible non-judgmentalness about other people, because they're gone soon. And why would you want your last interaction to be something of not loving? And I was like, sitting here like, oh my God, because we don't live in that world. We live in such a self sheltered environment, right? We protect ourselves from reality all the time, so because we don't want to deal with that stuff's hard. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to deal with that. It hurts. I get emotional. I'm a dude. We don't get emotional. All these things kind of overlay our lives. And in a place stripped bare where like my sister's operating, it's such a different way of life. And so I'll put that out there for you to think about. If you knew that your interaction with this person, any person, was going to be one of the last ones you had with them, or they had on the planet, I think you're going to change how you interact with people. And I know some people are going, "Oh, that's a very morbid way to live," and I don't think it's morbid. I think it's celebrating life, and I think it's focusing on the perspective of what we want to be and who we should be, versus focusing on the perspective of, I guess the perspective right here, right? The selfish perspective. The perspective that everything revolves around me and I'm the only thing that matters, and I'll just step on you or treat you poorly or anything like that, because who cares, right? Whew! A lot to think about, right? Yeah, that's been my last couple days, so I hope, hold on a second. Morning. Yeah. That just happened. So I hope you are challenged by the same thought-provoking nature that I have been, and I hope that it helps you the way it's helped me. All right? Have a great day.